Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. This is a very bold cover for the very second one here. I'm going to turn this music down just a little bit. Very bold cover with the Dracula head. More Super Mario 2. Christ, man. They had a pretty long segment on Mario 2 last time, so I guess we'll see what this one entails. But this, I mean, this might be one of the best covers they've ever done. This is a great cover. Iconic for a reason. Let's see. You can see the whip on the belt there. I just wanted to see if we could see the whip. The wave. Powerful graphics. We got the insider calendar. Hard to see what this is without zooming in here. I don't want this zoom in to break the stream too hard. National Hugging Day. Valentine's Day. National Pizza Week. Jimmy Lee. What the fuck is this? Oh, Bette Midler's birthday, of course. Oh, there's a... Okay, that's a search. I thought this might have been a zoom on the side. There's like a little magnifying glass. Let's make sure we get this back to how it was. Alright, it looks like it still fits. Or does Edge have... Oh yeah, 100% zoom. We're back. Beautiful. Hold on. How did we actually skip so far? Hold on. Hop back real quick. Dear Nintendo Power Player, here's your insider's calendar. Thanks for being one of the first to subscribe to our new magazine. Alright, cool. Bionic Commando, Life Force. Vic Viper takes off again. Simon's Quest. Get in on all the gory details. A game with a now notorious history. Yeah, I thought it was going to be releases too. But we had National Pizza Week and Bette Midler's birthday. Renegade RC Pro-Am. Oh, we got another Howard Nestor comic. The map of Simon's Quest will lead you to your destiny. Oz Aizawa did the poster artwork. Golgo 13. I think we read about that in the previous issue. Blaster Master. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Yep, we're starting with Bionic Commando. Destroy the hidden underground laboratory of the mad scientists. A hero is imprisoned behind enemy lines. Enter the enemy headquarters. Crush. Zap. Warning. My favorite comic book onomatopoeia is crush, zap, and warning. Essential to your mission is mastery of bionic arm, a strong wire that shoots out and attaches to walls and ledges with a grappling hook, allowing you to scale them or swing across chasms. Why? Because your bionics won't allow you to jump. I wonder if that's actually a part of the... Like, is that listed in the manual somewhere? Some of the backstory? You can't jump. Strategies to fight and win. Encounter the enemy. Neutral area. Not terribly interested in Bionic Commando, but we'll do a little reading here and just see what's up. Overhead. To climb using the bionic arm, push up and then press A. The grappling hook will plunge into the ceiling. Shoot your bionic arm either left or right by facing that direction, pushing A. Wow. A lot of, I mean, that just kind of is inherent to how the game works. Face a direction and press a button, but they really need to, outline that in the to the side. Fire your bionic arm at an angle, push A, and don't touch the control pad. Shoots out at a 45-degree angle. So advanced techniques, vertical movement is only possible by using the bionic arm. Overcome obstacles by climbing over them. You're moving from left to right, shooting enemies and climbing. Okay, that doesn't seem terribly advanced. It seems like pretty basic, necessary to beat the game. Come to a wide chasm. The only way across is to swing over on the bionic arm. Position yourself at the drop-off with care. Again, this is just like basic platforming. It's kind of interesting that they label it advanced techniques. Claim items quickly after defeating an enemy. If you wait, the prize could be gone. Okay, so we can pick stuff up with the bionic arm. That's a little bit more advanced to some extent. Your mission takes you to the battlefield. Enemy base 1 outside. In level 1, you launch into your mission by scaling the walls of a desert fortress. Bounding upward, swinging by the thread of your bionic arm. Thread doesn't sound very strong. And my own speakers down here really quick. Alright. Like I said, Bionic Commando, not terribly interesting to me. I played a very little of this, but I mean, we got good maps. Something we kind of just like looking at is just seeing how the layout of these reviews, as they're called. They call them reviews, even though this is hardly a review. Just what the layout and the graphics of the actual magazine look like. It's kind of interesting. Reading these blurbs on the side here. Inside the core room, battle heats up as soldiers attack in wave after wave. Gotta be fast and smart. So now you're facing elite troops. Situation may seem desperate at first. There is a way. Attack the core from the location shown in the photo. No one can hit you. Alright, that's a pretty good tip. Oh, okay. See, I haven't even made it this far. There's like different layouts here. Storm the beach. Head for the end bunker. Swing your bionic arm like a mace. Yeah, I haven't even made... This is like the second level. I guess if you want to count these as two separate, this is probably one level. Yeah, so this is literally the second stage, and I haven't even gotten this far, so that's about my exposure to Bionic Commando. Got a beach and then a desert stage right after. Although these look pretty short. I wonder if this is meant to kind of all be one thing. This is some good art here. I mean, it's kind of cheesy, like 80s, whatever, but I mean, it looks nice. Looks nice enough. Vroom. Get items and messages in neutral areas. Probably the first neutral area you'll reach. Let me go back and... because there was a segment about neutral areas. What are the neutral areas? Certain numbered areas are considered neutral, but you may still have a tough fight ahead. Once you fire a shot, it seems that everyone else joins in. Remember to enter each door as you come to it, because inside there may be vital information or weapons. That's kind of an interesting twist that I feel like you wouldn't see in any other NES game. An area like where the action doesn't start until you start firing. A lot of stuff from this era, like Contra and stuff, would be like you just go to the next level and you shoot stuff. So this at least is kind of Bit of a different idea. Talk to agents for information. Okay, so we do have a little bit of options there. I'm just, without playing it, I'm struggling to understand like why you would want to fire. Let's see, this is probably the first neutral area you'll reach. No, it's called neutral, it's not all quiet. Oh, so I guess there are probably other enemies. Okay. So it's just a bit more chaotic stages with kind of some crossfire. Interesting. Albatross. Albatross? Does Albatross not have two S's? Maybe not. What plot can be so important, so secret, so deadly that an army must be hired to keep it hidden from the world? Zing. Yow. Ah. So this is all like... Well, not all. Not all plot. I was going to say this is all plot. But there's a... I mean, there's a good amount of plot laid into these paragraphs here. Also, probably a little bit unorthodox for some NES games. I know a lot of manuals were like that, where you had a whole bunch of plot that wasn't conveyed very much in game, but... The Final Conflict. Bionic Commando has the action of the finest arcade games combined with the mysteries of superb adventure. Every moment counts, too, for a missed message can halt your progress as surely as a hailstorm of enemy bullets or slip of your bionic arm. And the pros at Nintendo, on down the line, everyone agrees this game is hot. Alright. That's cool. Life Force. What is Life Force? Your star drive zips, your laser zaps, while evil Zelos makes his plans. Not sure. This Zelos sounds familiar. Obviously, we got Vic Viper. But I don't think I've ever actually seen this game in motion. Giga. That's a really great sprite. We have just a big Pharaoh mask. Tutankhamun attack. The heart and soul of Zelos. These are some great, really big sprites though. Cruiser Tetron, Golem, Intruder. Man, this little text down here in the corner. Heart and soul of Zelos. Not terribly easy to read. This white on bright red in a small font. I know, obviously, we'd have the magazine in front of us in reality, but just really, really bright and blasting color. Looks like the same background used for every page here. Kind of the same type of layout in the corner. This diagonal section on each of the bosses. Now, let's not skip too far ahead here. Cell stage. Yeah, this is just a space shooter. Obviously with the Vic Viper action. That's a genre that overall I don't really play much of, and I know someone's got their like tier list and they know exactly where Life Force fits on it, but I couldn't tell you if this game is supposed to be good at all. They're off to save the universe. Your first stop is inside a gigantic mutant space cell, pulsing with dangerous antibodies. And the dreaded death hands of Phenom. Please note that Wembley's 5th Galactic Dictionary defines the word dread as the chilling sensation one feels upon meeting the death hands of Phenom. Yeah, this is another thing where I'm just like, I don't know if this is lore taken like from a manual somewhere or if they're just making shit up. I mean, It sounds convincing enough, so I think it's fine, but it's just interesting to me. We can see the golem. Pretty standard stuff. Volcanic stage. Rock and roll isn't a hit here in Terror Zone 2. All you'll find in this forsaken hole is rock and run. It's not a very good pun. Volcanoes spit out rocks while you run away, and the last thing you want is a hit. Every light minute of your journey requires the utmost piling skill because you're really between a rock and a hard place this time. Every light minute. So this is the intruder. Let me go back to the profiles of these guys. I mean, this one's talking about rock and shit. This is the golem. The intruder is an utterly foul-tempered mechanical space octopus. Lovely big blue eye. I don't know why, but like the this feels more like what a golem would be. Like a construct. Golem, the mayor of the cell stage, gained office for his reputation as a brain. Okay, I think they're making stuff up. I don't think this is from the manual. Looks are deceiving. He has all the wit and personality of a French fry. Thug through and through, Golem's only weakness is his bulging eye. Alright, I think it's all made up lore. I don't think we need to see too much more of that. First two stages. That's about it. Here's what we're here for. The main feature. This goofy ass Dracula drawing. And I know this Dracula in the background of this image is just stolen from a Dungeons and Dragons book. But I gotta say, the original art, I mean, that pose and that framing of Dracula just out on the balcony, it's kind of pretty good. Kind of pretty cool. The mists of time part. An ancient evil gloom descends. And our hero, the brave and noble Simon, learns of a new and dangerous quest. A Simon's quest, if you will. From a gentle princess. You've defeated Dracula, yet you carry his evil curse, she warns Simon. Your only hope is to search out the 5 parts of Count Dracula, take them to his castle, and burn them. Now as Simon, you must take up the quest. The princess departs in a veil of mist. She offers words of hope. Fear not, brave Simon, for if you have courage to risk your life, you will find the strength to defeat the monster of Castlevania. Count Dracula once again. She should have just name dropped. You will have the strength to defeat the monster of Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. Undaunted by the perils ahead, you steel yourself for the quest. Are you clever enough to unveil the darkest? I almost read it as like the blackest night. The darkest secrets. Strong enough to battle demonic foes in a land primeval. This is like this yellow text on an orange patterned background is not a great choice, but again, if I had the actual paper in front of me, that'd be a bit easier to read probably. All right, here we go. See, this is the type of stuff that I really like. All this like art of all the weapons and how they actually look. Kind of a fun little thing. This little enemy art all around the top side there. We got the eye. We got ooze. With this little skull guy. Pretty cool. Oh, they even call it kind of an RPG. They call it a role-playing quest at the top left here. The only way to find the Count's gruesome parts is to use your brain as well as your bravado in this exciting role-playing quest. Kind of an acknowledgement of some of those RPG mechanics. You've braved the You've braved the terrors of the evil Count Dracula, and emerged the victor once. Don't be overconfident. It's a whole new contest, full of fiendish surprises and pitfalls. Your search takes you through the haunted mansions, eerie graveyards, magical forests, and towns terrorized by the Prince of Darkness. Local folk may need your help, may help you with clues, but all quake in fear of the wrath of Dracula. Beware of false advice. Man, writing was on the wall to some extent in terms of how confusing some of the advice would be. This is an interesting little thing here. You must master 5 different whips to survive. That kind of implies that like there's any appreciable difference to like your gameplay style based on these whips, but they're just power-ups. Leather whip. Buy the thorn whip as soon as you can. Wield this for an even stronger attack. This whip has a long reach and a mighty bite. The Morning Star. Very cool. Use magic to add flaming power to the Morning Star. Yeah. I mean, they're all just power-ups. It's not like we have to individually master how to use each one. Effectively the same. In Simon's Quest, you must face the demons of the night, as well as those you battle by the light of day. They are vastly different. Use the bright daytime hours to shed light on your quest with clues from the many villagers you encounter. Don't believe everything you hear, because a few pranksters lurk about. Be sure to purchase weapons during the day, for you'll need them to do battle at night. As the sun sets, the local folk take shelter. The Prince of Darkness summons the creatures that nightmares are made of. They recognize them from a daytime encounter. Don't be fooled, at night they are more wily and more powerful. Yeah, I mean, reading this game sounds fucking awesome. If you got this Nintendo Power, especially after seeing that cover, you'd be like, holy shit, Castlevania 2 is gonna be the greatest thing ever. I mean, this hype that they're kind of building up here definitely leads to, or at least contributes somewhat to the disappointment I feel like a lot of people felt there. Town of Jova. Your tale of adventure begins in the little town of Jova. If you charge off to find the parts of Dracula without talking to the people here first, your efforts will be fruitless. Be sure to collect as many hearts as you can. You'll need them to buy invaluable weapons, but hearts are not easy to come by. Just earn them with courage and skill as you do battle with Dracula's legions. Oh, look at this. We got text speak. Gain clues through villagers. This is kind of strange, especially because the actual word through would totally fit here. So I don't know what that's about. You must be alert to everything the townsfolk say if you hope to succeed in your quest for the gruesome parts of Dracula. Without help, you're finished. If you run out of energy, take refuge in the church. It will replenish your strength and bolster your courage. Do tell, young lad. These old folks are each wise with their own story to tell. Listen well. So there's really no way to tell who's bullshitting you, huh? So some good hints here. Buy the white crystal. White crystal is your first step towards attaining magic power. Purchase the white crystal before you set out on your quest. You'll have to spend all of your hearts to do it. Zombies walk the villages by night. But fear not, brave Simon. Your first big chance to do battle and claim your prize, invaluable hearts. The Thorn Whip and Holy Water will soon be within your grasp. Man, they're kind of just opening this game with like an implication that you should just grind hearts immediately. Journey from the village to the right towards the enchanted Jova Woods. Beware of the Belasco Marsh on your left. Must gain great power before you dare its many perils. Oh my god. This merman. That is some interesting art there. That skeleton shield looks pretty cool. Some old school like werewolf furry art here. And I love how the bat at the top of each of these pages is just like not even rotated. It's the same exact piece of artwork. The little hamlet of Jova. You must wind your way. The Jova Woods. Cross the southern bridge to the Veros Woods. These are like some pretty good names, quite honestly. Kind of just generic fantasy-y, but I could see these like probably yoink some of these from my Dungeons and Dragons campaign. As you meet and overpower enemies in the course of your journey, your might will greatly increase. Need this extra strength for the mansion of Berkeley Drive lies ahead. No one has ever returned to tell the tale of what lies in the dreaded place. I mean, to this game's credit, it is kind of interesting that there's like, I don't want to be like it's an open world game, but like you don't just go to the right, you know, it's not just like a left to right game. Kind of explore a bit, which was a bit of a rarity in this era. I mean, especially after Castlevania 1, like a big change to make for the sequel. Algiba Woods. Veros Woods. Algiba. Linger in the town of Veros long enough to gain any helpful knowledge. Spend your heart's well. Precious items you will find hidden here. Mansion is your goal. Do you need a moment's rest in the church to replenish your strength? Oh, goodness. Excuse me. Chain whip is yours for a price. 150 hearts. Alright, we're not going to read everything word for word, but if something catches my eye. I love that they outline the pitfalls in this map here. Those I remember being a bit of a point of contention. And by that I mean it was kind of unanimous actually that they were just shit. Let's see what this guy has to say. The mansion of Berkeley harbors gruesome enemies. Here rests the rib bone of Dracula. Oh, so that's the ribs at the top of the page there. Claim it. Then return to the town of Veros to learn new wisdom. So this is doing an alright job of guiding you. Oh my goodness. Alright, I gotta crack this energy drink. I didn't want to have to, but we're fading fast. But this is so far doing a pretty decent job of at least being like, okay, go here, then go here, you know, then go here next. And I feel like that's one of the bigger hiccups of the game is just knowing what direction to go. I'm sure this game is probably a lot better with a walkthrough. We got map down here. We got this lower path. Ahead you must decide between two roads. First, do battle with those evil ones trying to stop you. Next, now take the road to the mansion of Berkeley or to the town of Veros. There's the eyeball again. We got two-headed horseman. We got fire brain. Skeleton Knights. Oh, the Camilla Cemetery. Get the laurel no matter what. Conjure up the crystal magic. We'll have to read those in a sec. You've attained great wisdom on your journey, both to and from the mansion of Berkeley. True meaning of the information you fought for cannot be fully recognized until you travel now to the town of Aljiba. En route, stop at Yuba Lake. If you do something special here at the lakeside, a secret underground passage will appear. So that's what the crystal's for. Friends can be found in the small town of Jova. Search them out. You will know them by what takes place when you reveal to them your white crystal. This is another game. I haven't played a ton of this. Is there a way to like... Maybe it means if you have the crystal, they'll tell you automatically. I don't think there's a way to like show items to people in this. Claim the laurel as your own. It has the power to make you invincible. You have hearts to spare. Also purchase the garlic. Get the laurel no matter what. Don't you need the garlic for something? I like how it just highlights the laurel in this title. If you were just skimming, you'd miss that you want to also get the garlic there. Two places hold secret clues. Second sacred clue. If you don't have the oak stake, all will be lost. You must remember to purchase it from the old crone. I wonder if they told us... Oh, you do have to offer to trade the white crystal for a blue crystal, it says on the left side there. Okay. I wonder if it mentions to buy the oak stake anywhere else. We're kind of just skimming. But if it's telling you, like, hey, you need the oak stake, by the way. Well, I think you need to hit every boss with an oak stake, right? Yeah, okay. Get the oak stake. All right. So this is just another reminder that you're going to need an additional one. That's fine. I was like, there's no way they're telling us for the first time when we're at the boss. That Milton Bradley Games. Belasco Marsh. Dead River. Wow. It's pretty edgy. Your valiant quest now leads you to Brahms Mansion. Before you can cross its dangerous threshold, you must once again return to the town of Jova. Man, just going all over the fucking place here. From there, embark on your venture at the left end of town. The road ahead is fraught with peril. Poisonous waters and stinking vapors of the dreaded Belasco Marsh, plus the wide expanse of the Dead River, lie between you and your next goal. This Reaper art's pretty cool. I like how they just put a small version of it over here. That's funny. Hold your ground when you see the dreaded fishmen spring from the dark waters. Dank waters, excuse me. That water's dank. One wrong move and you could end up in the abysmal depths as fish food. Abysmal. Beat Grim Reaper for the golden knife. He who grasps the golden knife wields immense power. Take up the golden knife and use it to fight your way to your next goal. The glowing ball in the room to the far right. Raise your oak stake. Drive it downward into the ball. You will attain a great reward. The eyeball of Count Dracula. Task of destroying the curse is far from over. More secrets and magic items have yet to be won. The ring. The nail. this is a weird perspective on this Simon. I don't know about that. The quest continues. Ahead of you lies the difficult task of finding the last two missing parts of the evil Count Dracula. The nail and his ancient ring. Only then will you be able to face the ultimate encounter with evil. Beware, you must also face darkness. You must search it out and claim it for battle, no matter what the cost. Got a little bit of a map here. This did not get scanned very well. Super Mario Bros. 2. Dude, here's that art again. Have you made it through the mischief and mayhem of World 2-3? Get ready for more Madcap Madness with pointers from the pros at Nintendo on Worlds 3-1 to 3-3. This Bionic Commando poster. Look at that. It's interesting. All right. Mario, Luigi, Toad, Princess. It looks like they're sticking with all one set of art. Nope, just kidding. Here's the Mario with the blue fucking hat again. What the hell is this? They said this map is too tall. We gotta put it diagonally through the middle of the page. All right, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here. Let's pull it back. Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess. The Fearless Four are yours to choose from. Which one is the best in a pinch? Depends on where you are and what you're up against. See, these Mario 2 segments, I do like the background and just like the border on this box is nice. It's got like pages have really good style, except for this fucking diagonal thing. And the Mario with the blue hat art is pretty bad. But like this clown in the corner is nice. I like the colors. It's pretty fun overall, but some weird stuff going on. Mario, another thing you'll like about Mario, he is a one easy guy to move around. Take special tricks to get around the world, weird worlds of Subcon. If you study the individual moves of Mario and his rascally friends, you'll have a chance. See what it has to say about each one here. Why not start the gameplay? What? Why not start the gameplay? Not gameplay, gameplay with an old friend. Your good old buddy Mario. Of course. He has 3 sidekicks. His 3 sidekicks have some pretty high-tech tricks. You can count on Mario to cover all the classic basics, plus a few ace moves. May come in very handy. You'll really get a jump on the action when you play with Luigi. His character has springs for legs, but watch out because he can make you jumpy too. Sometimes he gets out of control and jumps too high or too far for his own good or yours. A lot of skill to stay a jump ahead of him. When you say jump, Luigi says, how high? Brilliant. Oh yeah, Toad can pluck stuff really fast, can he? Maybe not. Let's read what it says. Toad may look like a pipsqueak, but Toad is power-packed and ready for action. Pile enemies on his back, stack vegetables on his head, and this little guy will still play to win. When he's loaded down, varoom, he moves like a Maserati, but fast. Try him for a coin collection. You'll see he's got a heart of gold. Talk about a weed eater. This guy can really garden. If you want to be rich, you better choose Toad. So it doesn't explicitly say, but I guess Toad plucks things faster. It's kind of weird how it says stack vegetables on his head, because you can only pick up one thing. Like pile enemies on his back, stack vegetables on his head, but you can only carry one item, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Reading this, I would be led to believe that you can pick up more than one thing. The fair Princess Toadstool has come back strong in the sequel as a major partner in adventure. Now's the time to put her talents to the test. And they are awesome. Would you believe she can walk on air? He glides through the air with the greatest of ease, avoiding dire obstacles just like a breeze. Cute. Oh shit, we got Warp Zone. Let's see. If you like to warp your way to new worlds and untold adventures, here you go. Super Mario Bros. 2 is riddled with secret warp zones. We'll give you a few hints from the insiders at Nintendo, but you'll have fun finding most of these magical shortcuts for yourself. In World 1-3, you'll want to have a magic potion in hand as you arrive at the scene shown here. Toss the potion down next to the jar, step inside the door. Look for another jar. Are you ready for warp speed? If you are, hop inside the jar. Toss the potion down here and step inside the door. Once you've entered subspace, hop inside the jar. Each world has a jar that opens the way to a wondrous warp zone. Trick, of course, is to find which jar. Wonderful. Alright, 3-1. Big waterfall is no problem if you hitch a ride on top of a handy cloud passing by. Maybe a bit tricky hopping on board the cloud, of course. Stay in control. One wrong step and you're in the drink. So we are getting some more advanced stuff here. Only the princess can long jump to this door for the handy dandy shortcut to Ostro. God damn. Skip the whole stage. Mushroom location in subspace there. Defeat Ostro. What do you think of going down the waterfall before you go up? Before you go up the cloud stairs, try going down the falls. It takes a lot of control to drop right into the center. Make a perfect swan dive to the island at the bottom. But if you make it, you'll find a secret entrance to the island. A whole bunch of vegetables and ... They're not going to tell us. Start off with a leap over a small waterfall, then head into the entrance. Oh yeah, you can see in this diagonal map for some reason. You can see the island down at the bottom there. So if you are off to the side, on the right side you'll die. On the left side you kind of have to try to like snake your way in there. I guess if you're hugging this wall, you'll just be fine as long as you don't touch the D-pad. All right, let's see. You can tell that Ostro is tired when he spits out 3 eggs in a row. When you see the 3rd egg fly, move fast. He's just taking a breather. Yeah, so that's... You can see there's the little mushroom blocks in there, but we still have the eggs, so I think you can use either one in that fight. But I think some of the later ones, you might have to use those. Those little blocks. Oh yeah, here's a how to defeat Ostro. I'm sure this is probably about that. This is your chance to play hardball with Ostro. Catch his eggs, then hightail it along the top to the right. As he approaches you, lob your eggs at him. Watch your timing. So that one is still with the eggs. I thought for sure eventually Birdo would just shoot fireballs and you'd have to use the little mushroom platforms. I guess we'll see if that happens in this world. We only have one more level to check out here. Down to Subcon. You'll need strong legs in this terrain. You'll be running up and down a lot of ladders as you go from the surface down to the 2nd floor of the underground, back again and again. Blast your way through walls that stop your forward progress. Huh? There are 3 doors, count them. Which one should you pick? And this is no TV quiz show. Bad news behind them. For those afraid of heights, it pays to watch the way the enemy is moving, then launch into action. You know, without the context, that doesn't really mean a whole lot. This is so obnoxious. These diagonal maps, man. Why'd they do that? If you took this text and you moved it somewhere else, you could totally fit these maps here. God, that is so annoying. Like, move might over Mauser. Move that segment just somewhere else. In fact, if you got rid of these two Mario pictures, you could make these two level graphs normal and then just put might over Mauser just on the right side there. Whatever. I'm sure the layout stuff will get a little bit better as we go along. Yeah, not too much to read here. What do we got? What do we got in terms of Mauser hints? First, you'll need to get that noisy spark out of your way. Now, do you remember that trick from World 1-3? Think back and try it here with 6 bombs. I really don't remember what that was, so we'd have to open our issue 1 right there. Spark is an extremely fast mover, so watch out. We got Renegade. What the fuck is this? We're really going to be seeing some stuff that I've never seen before here. What is it? Renegade? You aren't looking for trouble, but boy did you find it. Downtown at 2 a.m. you're surrounded by local toughs looking for a quick score. You hate to ruin their fun, but enough is enough. It's time to put these punks in their place. Face down. It's pretty badass. So some sort of beat 'em up, it looks like. What do you want with me? You ask. You're answered with a right cross that crunches your jaw. Jesus Christ, this whoever wrote this segment, they're really giving it their all here. Oh well, guess you'll have to pound it out of him. Subway can be dangerous late at night, especially when a gang of ruthless thugs are trying to toss you into the tracks. This is not your idea of a perfect end to an already long day. You're alone, unarmed, and outnumbered, almost 6 to 1. What now, tough guy? I mean, we got some standard beat 'em up stuff. Running punch, jump kick, running jump kick. Those are probably not at the time standard, but by now, moves like that are pretty standard. Throw attack. Knock down a thug, then sit on him by pressing down on the control pad. Let him have it. It's pretty brutal. Meanwhile, we have this Solstice. Holy shit! This is a cover art right here. Ripped wizard with like a fucking facial hair of flames. Man, this is really sparse. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Come down to the waterfront to relax, but the biker gang that comes roaring onto the pier has other ideas. Somebody up there must not like you. Joel. There he is. Joel has been waiting for you. You thought your luck was about to change, but boy, were you wrong. Joel's a little thug. This is like, what the fuck is this? We got like Mario 2. It's got all this detail and level layouts. You get to Renegade, and stage 1 is just like 2 narrative pieces and a couple of screenshots. Stage 2. Oh, we got a little bit of a hint. Jump kick them off the bikes and hop on, start the engine, let them eat your dust. Okay, get some hints there. Then stage 3 is just like you decide to stop for a cold drink back in town, but the 6 young ladies waiting inside aren't exactly your type. This evening has turned out to be a real bummer. Like, what am I even supposed to make of this? Just I don't know. Very, very few hints. Just like Oh yeah, stage 3, like give them 1.5 screenshots. Here's 1.5 screenshots and a narrative sentence. Oh, it's 2 sentences, excuse me. I guess I like the Renegade logo and like the background's cool, I guess, but I don't know. A pretty crappy little segment there. Now, this is just fucking crazy, like bright. You ready for a challenge? Do you enjoy the excitement of radio-controlled racing? We've got good news for you. Now you can control your favorite radio-controlled cars on your NES. Win a Thunder Shot. Wow. See page 88 for that. Damn, RC Pro-Am has 48 tracks. Not bad. See, this is the type of presentation. This has like a lot of effort into it. I mean, it's kind of MS Paint-ish, which I'm not a huge fan of, but like, I mean, they still had to draw all this. Control pad becomes the directional control. Experience the thrill of RC. Throttle up your engine by pushing B. Sudden rainstorms make the track wet and wild. Mud puddles can really bog you down. So just kind of going over all of the hazards. Skulls. These guys will steal your ammo. Turbo. Hotter engines. Collect these and burn some rubber. Isn't RC Pro-Am, isn't this a rare game? We got collecting Nintendo letters. Like your Kong letters. Alright, a little bit less fun on this page. We got this, and then next page is a little bit more simple. Each track layout, number of laps. A little bit of details on each track. Even the ones that are very similar, like track 3 is the same as the first track, but zippers speed up the race. If you miss a zipper, you can kiss this one goodbye. Yeah, this is nice. It's pretty good. I mean, even, like I said, even the tracks that are very similar, at least they give you some kind of hints on what'll lead you to the win. Make sure to pick up the Nintendo marker on each track. So yeah, this is to get a new RC car. Congratulations, you spelled Nintendo. That means victory. Start the next race with a hot new car. I mean, pretty short segment for the most part, but at least there's a lot of effort put in here. No info on who drew this. That actually might be in like the beginning of the magazine. Because they did credit the Bionic Commando poster artist. Classified info. Oh, we got classified info for Renegade. This one page has more info about Renegade than the entire earlier segment. Alright, let's start with Kid Nicky. See if anything in here catches our eye. Special hidden stage. Secret strategy. Defeat the Stone Buddha. Shortcut to Green Grub. What the fuck? Jump up 3 times here and the rock to the right will turn into a giant fish. Once inside, go from one end to the other and then go after Green Grub. Huh. Alright. Renegade from Taito. Yeah. Mission select. Special round selecting codes. I mean, that's not terribly surprising. You deserve a break today. Hamburgers with revitalizing power sometimes drop from above. To make them appear, run and jump kick the wall when the time remaining ends in 17 in mission 1, 43 in mission 2, and 59 in mission 3. Are there only like 4 stages in this game? Is he stage 2, 3, and 4? Get back to the action with a power-packed hamburger. Extra hearts, the easy way. So I can see 1-ups. P-marks provide power. This looks like a really short game though. Jesus, they really didn't have a whole lot to even say about it. Oh, Kid Icarus. All right, let's see what we got here. I like this game a lot, actually. Gotten pretty far in Kid Icarus. I think it's got a lot of interesting stuff going on. Crack the code of the treasure rooms. After you break 7 of the pots in the treasure rooms without making the god of poverty or the Reaper appear, you can break the 8th pot to find a valuable item. The Reapers appear in a set pattern. And with this key, you'll be able to unlock the secret of that pattern. Study the map below and break jars 1, 2, and 8 while in the black room, and jars 2, 6, and 7 while in the blue room. Given the number of big hammers that appear, you'll be able to find the exact position of the Reaper. Break all the remaining pots, leaving the one with the Reaper until last. When you break this, it will reveal special items ranging from a barrel to the elusive credit card. This little section here being broken up diagonally like that threw me off really bad too. Okay, so it's based on the number of hammers. Break jars 1, 2, and 8. Okay. So it's the total number of hammers that show up. I wonder if this is like intentionally designed to be able to be figured out this way, or if this is just a consequence of how it was programmed. All right, let's check out some Howard Nestor. The amazing Nestor. What's he up to now? First you do this, and then... Hi, Nestor. Sounds like you got your new issue. Isn't that tip from page 48? No way. I don't read it. For my next trick, rattle, rattle. Where'd my copy go? Here's the new issue. Oh no. Oh wow, rad. Let me see. Let me give you a bonus tip. In Super Mario 2, carry the magic potion to the place with the most grass before you use it. I knew that. Can't wait to show you the next issue. So far, every Howard Nestor has just been like an advertisement for Nintendo Power. Which I guess is somewhat to be expected, but I don't know about that one. Counselor's Corner. Are these just specific questions, I guess? Oh yeah, this is supposed to be like here's some info from the pros. Even though I guess the whole magazine is info from the pros. I don't know. Where is level 7 in the first quest of The Legend of Zelda? In order to discover the entrance to level 7, use the whistle when standing next to the westernmost pond. Pond will evaporate. Stairway will appear in its place. How do I get to level 9, and what special item can I find inside? 2 large boulders far up to the north are known as Spectacle Rock. Haha, yes. Very famous Zelda landmark. If you remember the clue from level 8, you'll know that these rocks hold a special secret. Go to Spectacle Rock and blast the left boulder. This will open the entrance to the mysterious level 9, Death Mountain. Kind of interesting that you can access level 9 early, like so early. You just need bombs to get in the door. I don't actually know the layout, but I'm assuming you'll probably be blocked pretty early on without other items. In the second quest of The Legend of Zelda, how do I find the letter? You'll have to have the power bracelets before you can open the entrance to the cave where the letter is. The power bracelet can be found in the same place as in the first quest. To get there, use the pattern through the Lost Woods. North, west, south, west. While you're exploring, be on your guard. The enemies are tough. Using the power of the bracelet, push a rock out of the way and open the entrance to their cave. I don't remember. I mean, these are like the standard overworld rocks, right? That's what it looks like. Is there any other time where you have to push those rocks? It was pretty cryptic because I don't remember any times pushing those rocks, but I haven't fully beaten the first Zelda, so I'm not sure. I've looked everywhere, but I can't find the raft. Where is it? The raft is in the room above the Triforce in level 4. Go to the Triforce room and work your way up. Huh. Above the Triforce room. Oh yeah, there it is. The corner of the map here. The D. Oh yeah, so this is specifically for the second quest as well. Because that's the D dungeon. Super Mario. Damn, we're getting like all these banger games. I like how this is like no fucking Renegade and any of that shit. This is all like Mario, Zelda, Metroid, and Kid Icarus. Where are the warp zones in Super Mario Bros. And how do I get to them? There are a total of 3 warp zones. You use them to quickly warp to the 8th world. Of course, things aren't always as easy as they seem. Maybe some tricky maneuvers you'll have to master. They may take some practice. I was gonna say, obviously, this is the most obvious one. 1, 2. 4, 2. Metroid. How do I defeat the mini bosses Ridley and Kraid? Wouldn't I fucking like to know? When I played through Metroid NES, I don't remember if it was Ridley or Kraid, but one of them took fucking ages. Like just blasting and blasting and blasting. There's several ways to defeat Ridley and Kraid. A few strategies we found can be very effective. The wave beam is the strongest beam. I don't think I had the wave beam. It has a very wide area of fire. Try to stand where the shots from Kraid or Ridley won't hit you and use the wave beam. You may be able to shoot from below, but don't stand in the lava for a very long time. They said shoot from below. What the fuck? You want me to go in the lava? I don't think that's a good idea. Another good method is to use the freeze beam to stop enemy fire and then shoot at your opponent as his shots are thawing. I think I had the freeze beam, which is what they're suggesting here. You can use the beam or missiles for this. However, the missiles aren't effective unless they're used at close range. Fucking since when? Maybe that was my problem too. Is that really a mechanic that's in the game? That your missiles are stronger at close range? Or are they just saying they're not as effective unless you're at close range because you could miss? You could also use bombs while you're very close, but it will take a lot of energy. Choose your method by using whatever weapons you have in your possession. Really not a very satisfying answer to this. There's some hints in there, but... Kid Icarus. Where do I find the credit card? The credit card can be very tricky to obtain, and you won't be able to get it every time. If you're lucky, though, you should be able to get it after a couple of tries. The treasure chambers break... There are several big pots. If you break all the pots and the god of poverty doesn't appear, a special item will be there in its place. This item could be the credit card. Kind of just got the lowdown on how that works. It's kind of interesting. They do that very frequently where they'll feature something like in the earlier classified info. They'll feature how to get the item, and then later they'll have something that references a question that they've already answered. I wonder why they did that. Golgo 13. New York City, a helicopter transporting a deadly cargo of bacteriological agent known as Cassandra G, like the G virus, suddenly erupts in a fireball near the Statue of Liberty. CIA blames the incident on Russian KGB agent. Skills with an M16 rifle are legendary. His name is Golgo 13. This was a game in the last issue that kind of looked interesting. I think. Is this the one that I was... Is this even the one I was thinking about? This art's kind of cool. I mean, it's very of its time, but... looks pretty cool. There was something that was like a... espionage thing. I think it was this. I was like, that actually looks kind of interesting. Oh, we got sniper battle screen. Cool. Hot action and sharpshooting. Man, this is like really dense text heavy article here. I'm kind of just looking for little blurbs about what the game is about, kind of. It's ironic that I was thinking it looks interesting, and now that I have an article on it, I'm just like, meh, I don't. It's really dense. Your mission spans the globe. Desperate for the toxin called Cassandra G. Search from Berlin to Greece. Then on to the Amazon River jungle. Finally to the frigid wastes of Antarctica. Here in the treacherous streets of Berlin, you begin the search. Third leg of your mission, where action takes place in the jungle and in the murky river. On this second stop, you'll face untold dangers amidst ancient crumbling ruins of Greece. Antarctica, the Alexander Base, the most desolate place on Earth, the South Pole. It's here that you confront the enemy who holds the secrets to Cassandra G, the fate of the world. Mission is complete when you identify Drek's leader. Or is it? I don't know, the more that I'm seeing screenshots and stuff, like the less interesting this looks to some extent. Although this little scene here, this is like a pseudo 3D thing going on. Nothing is as it appears to be. Even having cleared an enemy base, you must still puzzle your way through a dangerous maze of dead ends and ambushes. And that's pretty ambitious for NES. To escape the maze, draw a map and show every detail. They don't even give us, they give us a whole fucking Mario 2 diagonal falling down map. But we can't get the Golgo 13 maze map. Blaster Master. This is a game I've always kind of wanted to play a bit of. Blaster Master seems real cool. This is the story of a boy named Jason and his frog, Fred. This is a good start here. One day, Fred jumped out of his bowl and escaped into the yard. Jason ran after him and was unable to catch Fred before he jumped to a huge box marked Danger, Radioactive. Jason watched in horror as Fred grew larger and larger until he became a huge monster. A huge monster, frog, excuse me. He then disappeared into the earth. Jason jumped into the pit after him, but Fred was nowhere to be found. Instead, he found an armored vehicle designed to foil the plans of the evil plutonium boss and his band of radioactive mutants. Jason jumped into the cockpit, sped into the cavern beyond. This is a game I did not know had such a goofy story to some extent. I mean, this artwork for the actual vehicle like looks very serious, and kind of love how that is drawn. But then you get, oh, his frog jumped into a hole, or jumped into a radioactive box and then into a hole. Just very strange. But the gameplay and the idea of this game is like really crazy, because I know a bit about it, how you can leave your vehicle. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to fight off the evil mutants in each of the 8 stages. Find and defeat the boss at the end of each stage. Let's choose between using the advanced weapons aboard your vehicle or fighting outside the vehicle on foot. While in the vehicle, you must also select which weapons to use against the mutant horde. Finally, you must battle the dreaded plutonium boss. Save the Earth. Yeah, you can like leave the vehicle and go into like small rooms and stuff that the vehicle can't fit in. Pretty ambitious stuff, quite honestly. Defeat the bosses at the end of each stage. Power up for a final encounter with the plutonium boss. Man, this sprite works pretty cool too. A lot of people discount some of the visuals on the NES, but like these big sprites like this were like, I mean, they're a technical achievement in their own regard to be able to make something that large. Wow, this is a really short segment here, huh? We have screenshots of each stage, but no like tips and tricks. Video shorts. It's a quick rundown of some of the latest NES game packs. Up to the minute information. Descriptions of what's just over the video game horizon. Some of these games are incredible. Some are amazing, and some are just plain awesome. Also a special Video Shorts Classic section. So we have a number of arcade masterpieces joining the NES library this time around. Xenophobe. They had a little pronunciation guide there. One who fears anything alien. The Xenophobe has plenty to fear here. Space stations and moon bases have become infested with all sorts of slimy, creepy, energy-sucking mutant creatures. It's no wonder that the Xenophobe has chosen you, the Exterminator, to rid these outposts of these vile, hideous mockeries of life. That's a pretty edgy description there. You and a fellow Exterminator can play simultaneously on a split screen. Wow. Split screen? On NES? Are there any other NES games that have split screen like that? Huh. You must do your work and find valuable items quickly before the space station self-destructs. I'm sure there is somewhere, but that's pretty wild. Split screen. Cycross. Hop onto your space mini bike. The Gilgit. Hang on for one of the fastest rides in video games. Not interested. Superman. Guide mild mannered reporter Clark Kent. Nearby phone booth and becomes Superman. First and greatest of all superheroes. Select from X-ray vision, heat vision, super freeze breath, super wind breath, super spin, power flight, while keeping the Man of Steel's keen super hearing attuned to the cries of help against the villains and monsters that inhabit the city of Metropolis. Get information from Superman's friends and other citizens to aid you in a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way. Alright. Never really interested in Superman, but... Indiana Jones, the first named adventure, comes home to the NES. This time around, Indy must infiltrate the sinister Pankot Palace, free the enslaved children, recover the precious Sankara stones, return the children and the stones to the peaceful village of Mayapur by defeating Molararn, the diabolic high priest of the Pankot Palace. I'm not sure I've ever seen this film, quite honestly, which might be blasphemous, but so I don't know how closely that actually goes with the film plot. First, however, he and his trusty whip must face Mola Rarn's henchmen, the Thuggy Guards, along with lava monsters. I don't think there's lava monsters in that. Lava monsters, deadly spikes, and snakes. Oh no, not snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? That reference I am familiar with. Who knows? Maybe there is a lava monster in this film. I honestly don't know. Like I said, that might be blasphemy. Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf. This sounds fucking badass. One of the greatest superstars in the world of sports. Lee Trevino. The one and only Super Mex. Presents this exciting lifelike game of greens. You may choose any one of the four... Okay, this probably has nothing to do with fighting, right? Excuse me. I thought this was going to be like you beat each other's asses between golf shots. But it's not that. Unfortunate. All right, we'll speed it up a little bit here. 1943. Video shorts. 1943, based on the arcade game from Capcom. Jackal from Konami. Our infrared satellites have confirmed that several of our MIAs are prisoners trapped behind enemy lines. Their only hope for rescue lies in a small-scale commando raid, codenamed Jackal. Cool. Hudson's Adventure Island from Hudson. I wonder if this was actually... That's not what this game is called, right? It's just called Adventure Island. I wonder if this is like a working title. Surely this game did not release under the title Hudson's Adventure Island. Who knows? Maybe it did. Master Higgins has come all the way to this South Pacific jungle island to rescue his beloved sweetheart, Princess Leilani, who has been abducted by the cruel and sinister evil witch doctor. Guide Master Higgins through tropical jungle forests, mountains, caves, and all sorts of strange and terrible traps. Defeat the devilishly imp-like creatures. Imp-like enemies, excuse me. I'm sure they are creatures as well. And give the doctor a taste of his own medicine. Along the way, you'll find food. Is it poison? Weapons to help you. And a skateboard for traveling faster. But be careful. Remember, it's a jungle out there. I like how we have the Kappa. The Kappa right there. Where it just calls them imps. Us Americans call them imps in this day and age. As you board the first Magmax body part, contemplate the mission before you. You must find and assemble all the mechanical body parts to complete your formidable, transformable robot called Magmax. Your mission: defeat the giant computer Babylon, an unfeeling, three-headed killing machine placed in control of the Earth by alien conquerors. Using the warp hall, you can travel above or below ground and maneuver through forest, desert, sea, and an automated city toward your final encounter. See, this sounds pretty cool. This is probably not good, but man, they were really like all positive back in this time. I don't know, maybe Nintendo Power was always like that. I know when they did reviews, like actual starred reviews, I know stuff did get low reviews from time to time. But this, they call stuff like the Bionic Commando section, they call that a review, even though it's not really. Okay, so we got the classics section with this banner up here. I wonder if this is going to be recurring, or if they literally made this banner for this small segment here. I guess we'll have to see in the next issue. Donkey Kong Classics. Everyone's favorite monkey, the one and only Donkey Kong, is back. You know, this is like, what was Donkey Kong even in up until this point? Just Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong 3. So, was Donkey Kong... Was Donkey Kong like popular at this time? I don't know if this was like a beloved character yet. I don't know. I guess he's everyone's favorite monkey. I mean, the obviously the arcade cabinet of Donkey Kong and stuff was very popular at the time, but I don't know how that compares to like when Country came out. Presumably, this character became a lot more popular. This time we paired Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. together in the same game pack. Once again, you have to help Mario scale the construction site to rescue the petite and pretty Pauline from the great gorilla Donkey Kong. In Donkey Kong Jr., it's Donkey Kong's son, Jr., who must swing on vines, jump platforms, and dodge birds in order to rescue Papa from Mario's cage. I like that they changed Mario's name, or they changed Jumpman to Mario. But Pauline remains the same. And that is interesting there. I would not have been surprised at all if when this came to NES they changed it to Toadstool. But they kept it. Pac-Man Fever is back and we've got it. Pac-Man, the original overeater, is here once again, chomping dots. I mean, what else can we really say about Pac-Man? I don't think we really need to read that whole thing. Defender 2. Defender, the first name in video space warfare. Golden age of arcade video games is alive again on your NES. I mean, this was from 88? It's alive again? I mean, was it dead? I don't know what arcades were like in the 80s. But it says it's alive. The golden age is alive again. So presumably there was a time when it was pretty bad, right? I don't know. In the cold, eternal void of space, you're once again the last hope for the world of Ligris as you attempt to stop a marauding band of aliens and rescue their hostages. The action is fast and furious. The ride is dizzying, so watch out. Well, isn't this just fine? You've lost your way in a dark and dangerous enchanted forest. And all you've got to protect yourself are magic arrows. Use your arrows to kill spiders? Is this really the context behind Millipede? I never pictured it as like using a bow and arrow. I always pictured Millipede and Centipede as like fantasy games, or not fantasy, sci-fi games, not fantasy. This kind of paints it more as like a fantasy. Joust. 'Tis the arcade immortal. Joust. The fabled challenge of royal combat. That's kind of funny because... oh, this is from HAL? Interesting. Oh, these are all from HAL on this side. I find this kind of funny that it refers to Joust as the arcade immortal. Because I feel like people that are really into arcade games like and know Joust really well. But I feel like the layman is probably more familiar with Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Millipede, maybe Defender before Joust. Joust, in my mind, is like not like the epitome of arcade, you know? Like, I'd think of like 15 other arcade games before Joust would come to my mind, probably. But I feel like I said, I feel like a lot of the people that are really into arcade games are intimately familiar with this game and have it as one of their favorites. I've played Joust once or twice. It's pretty good. Mount thy golden-winged blue space ostrich and soar into battle as hordes of brutal buzzard riders against the hordes of the brutal buzzard riders. Excuse me. Spear these flying varlets. Is that what that said? What is a varlet? Spear these flying varlets while making sure the eggs they drop hatch no additional villains. However, if thy lance should be lower than thine enemies, thy head will surely be forfeit. You'll lose major big time. That's awesome. Yeah, Joust is cool. See, this is one that I picture as a fantasy game, but this is framing it as like space ostrich. Like, as like a sci-fi fantasy. I don't know. Xevious. See, Xevious, I would think of Xevious, Galaga, Millipede, Donkey Kong, and Pac-Man before I would ever think of Joust. And I feel like that's a pretty common opinion. I mean, Galaga for sure. Yeah, we don't need to read all that. PackWatch. A look into the future of NES game packs. Keep your eye on PackWatch. We'll give you a glimpse into the future with all the hottest news about what's coming next for the NES. Link letter. Dear Zelda, I'm here in Kyoto with my programmer, Mr. What the fuck is this? It's a letter from Link. I'm afraid I have some bad news to tell you. Are you sitting down? Oh, is this a Zelda 2 delay? Are you sitting down? That's right, you're lying down. Comatose even. Anyway, they tell me I will not be able to begin my journey until the new year. It has something to do with computer chips or something. I know we hope to spend the holidays together, but I'm sure you can hold on a little bit longer. I miss you desperately. Yours forever, Link. Sorry for the bad news. Link will be available in very limited quantities in November. Okay, so it did hit the November release date. It's just quantities were low. And I think I've actually read about this. I think there was some sort of chip shortage, actually. I think that's like a notorious story of the development of Zelda 2. Are you ready to get slimed? Activision tells us they'll be bringing this movie hit to your NES very soon. This is an adaptation of a popular computer game by the same name. Once the conversion is complete, you'll be trapping ghosts left and right. But if you get into some serious trouble, who are you gonna call? Game counselors. Gotta plug the service. I always find it very interesting when they say like computer games. This is a popular computer game, as if like NES games aren't just computer games on a specialized computer, you know? Very interesting to see like the NES is clearly like it's something else. It's, you know, it's not like a computer. You put your game pack in it. All right. Your favorite Disney characters, Mickey and Minnie Mouse, are off on an NES, on a NES. So this is intended to be pronounced NES. Off on a NES adventure. I'm going to say an NES adventure. They must meet the challenge in 5 different worlds: the Funhouse, Ocean, Woods, Pirate Ship, and Castle. The goal: find the elusive Alice. Find Alice, like Alice in Wonderland, Alice? You'll have fun interacting with this world-famous pair from Capcom. Extra, extra. The arcade hit Paperboy is currently being converted to an NES game. Pedal down the street, avoiding trash cans, screeching cars, and other obstacles, while trying to deliver the news to everyone on your route. We haven't seen the final program yet, but the arcade version is really great. Tecmo Bowl was an arcade game, I guess. Really only heard of people playing the NES game. I guess it's Tecmo. Duh. What am I thinking? It's a Tecmo game. Sometime this season, you'll be able to challenge a friend. Tackle this new game. Oh my god, this section is so much longer than I thought it was going to be. Alright, we'll hit up the big ones here. WrestleMania, no. Track and field, fuck that. Friday the 13th. Oh, here we go. My AVGN fans. A horrifying double feature from LJN. 2 new game packs guaranteed to raise the hair on the back of your neck. Yeah, little did they know. One night, you're snuggled tightly in your sleeping bag, counting the stars when you hear an unsettling sound. You awaken with a start to the horrifying realization that Jason has struck again. You are Freddy Krueger, terrorizing the neighborhood. This time it's you they have to fear on Elm Street. Bubble Bobble. Graphics on this one are straight out of the arcade. Looks cute and friendly, but it's bubbling with challenge. It has a two players at one time feature. Kind of weird that they word it that way. 2 players at one time feature that lets you join forces with a friend to beat the game and challenge each other for the high score. Due out this fall from Taito. TMNT. Word has it that this one is still 6 months away. However, it's never too soon to hope that Ultra/Konami come up with yet another winner. TMNT is based on the cult comic book series. Really? I mean, this was after... There was a TMNT cartoon at this point? Was there? 88? It's interesting that they call it a cult comic book series, because I guess before the cartoon comes out, that would probably be what it would be considered, but I don't know when the cartoon came out. Dude, this is getting into like... Once we get into, you know, later 90s stuff, I'll have a lot more info on like the context behind a lot of this stuff, but this is all before my time here. These mutants are really making the rounds. As we understand, they'll also appear in a new cartoon. Oh, I should have just read the rest of this. They'll appear in a new cartoon show this fall. So this would be, at the time, TMNT would be considered like a cult hit. That's really a bizarre world, you know, with how popular TMNT became. Who framed Roger Rabbit? This sounds too good to be true, but we know that LJN has the rights to turn this super hot hit movie into a game pack. We think the storyline could prove to be a great NES adventure. Roger Rabbit, a cartoon, who's trying to make it big in Hollywood, is caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. He gets framed for murder and enlists the help of a human friend to help him beat the rap. Stay tuned for more. That's all, folks. Here's that RC Pro-Am contest. Yeah, so of the games reviewed, or of the game reviews listed below, not really reviews. Dude, this guy is fucking dripped out here. I want that Nintendo Power jersey. Tuck it into my jeans there. Wonder where that guy is now. Who is this guy? Is this someone special or is this just a guy? Oh shit. They're tearing it up over here. The Power Set. Introducing the Power Set. And this is some crazy art at the top here. Is that the NES Advantage? Nintendo has announced the introduction of an all-new version of the NES. Or Nintendo has announced, not NES has announced. Appropriately named the Power Set. Powerful combo includes the Power Pad, Control Deck, 2 controllers, the Zapper, plus 3 games on one triple play pack. Duck Hunt, Super Mario Bros., and World Class Track Meet. System will start showing up on store shelves in September. I love how they call it the Control Deck. I'm assuming that's what they refer to the actual console itself as. Offers players a whole new way to enjoy video games with their feet instead of using a controller or joystick. Select games can be controlled by operating the 12 color-coded keys on the pad itself. It's a great way to avoid becoming a couch potato. Start with 3 games will be available for Power Pad Play. World Class Track Meet, included in the set, lets you compete in several different sports events. Dance Aerobics takes you through several routines, plus has some offbeat options like Pad Antics. Super Team Games. Up to 6 players can join at one time on selections, like the relay race and tug of war. If you know anyone who's planning to get an NES in the near future, tell them to check it out. Plans to sell the power pads separately are still pending. See, now this article may actually be really interesting. Rare Limited, the tale of two brothers. Meet Chris and Tim Stamper of Leicestershire, England. Why? Because these guys have reached the pinnacle of the video game world. And along the way, they've created some of the hottest games ever made for your NES. The brothers founded Rare Limited, a company dedicated to producing state-of-the-art video excitement. So far, their electronic magic has conjured up more than 25 games, including Wizards and Warriors, RC Pro-Am Racing, and Slalom. How do they do it? Well, it's not by hocus pocus. It takes a lot of hard work, says Chris, plus an incredible capacity for having fun. Damn, they got the ride out front. No jet. And it wasn't always quite so much fun. Chris, now 30, wrote test programs for arcade games back in 1982. It's a good place to get started, he recalls. But what I really enjoyed was programming my own games. That's exactly what he did. In 1983, working on his home PC, Chris began developing a game called Jetpack. Brother Tim joined the team, bringing with him a brilliant imagination and the skills to breathe life into his ideas through his artwork. The game was such an incredible success that 50% of PC users in Great Britain purchased it. Holy fuck. That's like huge attachment. 50% for like just a rando ass game that these guys made. Chris and Tim saw the writing on the wall. It was time to become their own boss. Very soon, the brothers Stamper were literally flying high. The games were some of the most popular around. Rare Limited was off the ground, and Tim had taken up piloting ultralight aircraft. What the fuck? I guess, more power to you. Not to be outdone, Chris purchased Tim's Lamborghini. Doesn't have wings, he says, smiling. That doesn't mean it can't fly. Damn, these dudes were flying jets, riding around the Lambo. Crazy. Now that success has become a way of life, Chris and Tim have time to do things most people only dream about. Like breeding Shire horses. What the hell is this? This is like the craziest fucking duo in all of gaming at the time. Yeah, we make games, drive around the Lambo, fly a plane, breed horses. This almost just doesn't seem real with how outlandish it is. Maybe that isn't everyone's dream, but Tim delights in the huge animals, which are similar to the famous Clydesdale breed. When we asked him what success means to him, he replied, "It means someone else can clean out the stalls." For Chris, success means time on his ham radio and star watching. Stars in the sky, that is. Chris has always loved astronomy. What's left for the brothers? Chris says that he and Tim are working on a fantastic new board game concept. What's it about? It's fun, says Chris mysteriously. Like all magicians, he knows the value of keeping a secret. He also knows the value of having fun, and that's something he and Tim share with all of us through their games. Screenshot from Wizards and Warriors there. That's actually a really interesting article there. That is a lot of info I didn't know already. Plugging the official Nintendo Player's Guide there. We've also got Super Mario tips. I think the last one on the right side in the previous issue was a Zelda book. How to win at Super Mario Bros. Strategy Guide. Find out how to get past Bowser. Get extra lives, warp into new worlds, discover hidden surprises. It's just a small booklet for $5. Give your Visa/MasterCard number to our customer service department. Those were the days. You just tell them the number over the phone. Really not interested in, I mean, I'm curious how long these sections are going to go on, because I am not interested in late 80s television. Eric Dickerson. NFL players challenge Tyson for world championship. Yeah, we're gonna go by that one real quick. Let's see what we got here. Game ideas. Oh god. These are, whenever someone's like, yeah, I've got a game idea, you know it's gonna be something good. Looks like they keep it vague here. My friends and I have been wondering if we could make a game and send our idea to your company. We're always glad that our video games are stimulating the imaginations of our players. Unfortunately, for various legal reasons, we're not allowed to use your proposals or send them to our product development people in Japan. I've heard Icarus from Kid Icarus pronounced many ways. How do you pronounce it? Icarus is pronounced Icarus. The first syllable rhyming with pick. Name comes from the Greek myth about a boy who made wings out of feathers and wax. He flew too close to the sun, though, melted his wings, and fell to his doom. I wonder if Pitt's name is ever listed anywhere. Or if he really did just go by Kid Icarus at this time. Grandparent power. I always love, I don't know why, I always love the letters about, like, my grandma plays Mario Bros with me. I think the time has come to confess all. Whoever said Nintendo's for kids is right, but let's not forget the grandpas and grandmas. My wife and I and Samus are currently blasting Zebatite Chambers on our way to Mother Brain after a frantic call to your hotline to determine where the ice gun was. Dude, this is the ultimate way to get your letter published, is to say, I called the Nintendo hotline. They'll be like, oh, this endorses the Nintendo hotline. Put it in the fucking magazine. Once we complete this task, we have to wait for Zelda 2 because the Mighty Swords have rescued Zelda in both episodes 2 times. Conquered the mighty forces of danger hand in hand with Kid Icarus both times. And, of course, let's not forget what started it all. Those rotten Hammer Bros. We got them. I must add that all this was done with the help of the Advantage joystick, except for the Mario Caper. This is a really weirdly written letter. A must for grandparents. Why beat yourself to death? Turbo them. Please tell Mom and Dad about the role-playing series, but don't forget Grandma and Grandpa either. Better hold off on Punch-Out for a while. Jim and Dot McGurr. Brecksville, Ohio. I hope Jim and Dot are doing good. Although this is a 34-year-old issue. Tape tips. Dear Nintendo, your Nintendo tapes. Do they mean the game pack? Okay, they're about to explain it. Do your Nintendo tapes only last for 5 years? Does it matter if you set them on chairs or if you put the controller, or if you put the controllers on the floor? What the fuck are you talking about? The term tape is a slang term that refers to a game cartridge, but NES game packs actually contain no tape at all. Huh. That's a weird, I guess, like you'd have cassette tapes that you put into your cassette player in a similar fashion. Someone, I think in the previous issue, used the term tape. NES game packs are actually contain no tape at all. A game should last indefinitely. That is not true. Everything will die eventually. The only exception might be a game that uses a battery for memories, such as Zelda. The battery should last for at least 5 years, but at some point, if you're having a problem, please call our customer service line at this number. By the way, we do not recommend placing a cartridge or any part of the game where it could be sat or stepped on. Try to keep your game free of moisture and dust and away from very hot or cold temperatures. Dear Nintendo, I've noticed Howard Phillips looks just like Little Mac on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Is this just a coincidence, or was Little Mac made to look like Howard Phillips? It was not a preconceived notion to make Little Mac look just like Howard. Must be one of those amazing coincidences. He does kind of look like him a little bit, actually. I'm a 9-year-old third grade student at Highland Park Elementary School in Austin, Texas. It took me nearly 9 months of saving my allowance and doing odd jobs around the house to save up to buy a Nintendo system. I also have saved up to buy a few of the game packs. I really appreciate my NES since I had to work so hard to get it. One day, my teacher asked each student to write an article for our school newspaper, the Austin American Scotty. I took a poll for my article and found out many interesting things about the NES, including the fact that Nintendo is the most popular type. Everybody at school was so interested in my article that they made it the front page story with a big headline. I thought you might like to see it. The article looks terrific, George. Congratulations on a job very well done. Following is an excerpt from George's article. Bad Sweeps Through Highland Park by George Ward. Damn. Don't die. We're going to die reading this magazine, yes. Bad Sweeps Through Highland Park by George Ward. Austin, Texas. At Highland Park School, you can hear lots of kids talking about Nintendos, Ataris, and Segas. This was like Sega Master System. Who the fuck had a Sega Master System? What in the world are they talking about? These are the names of 3 popular... What does this say? Oh, home video entertainment systems. It's at the bottom of the screen and I've got like stuff in front of me. A questionnaire was passed around to find out more about them. Alright, let's see. We don't need to read the rest of this. Oh, how many votes did we get? Here we go. 48. 35 played Nintendo. I mean, 48 for an elementary student in 3rd grade. 48's a pretty good amount of survey responses. Damn, look at that Sega on the chart. 2 votes. 2 kids had the Sega at home. What?
Das Nintendo magazine Lusks party suck.
Oh my god. Thank you so much, Mr. Saucy, for the subscription. That is a little bit of a crazy reading from the machine there. Das Nintendo magazine Lusks party suck. Dude, this shit's fucking awesome. I don't know what you're talking about. Mike Tyson's great. The Man in Black. He's got more power than Little Mac. He can really go. When he gets in the ring, he starts his moves when the bell goes ding. To get in the ring to play the best, first you have to beat the rest. You think Mike Tyson can't be beat? But if you have strength, you can knock him off his feet. It did a pretty decent job, all things considered. This response to this poem sounds so sarcastic. Paul Woods. Pretty powerful poem, Paul. I do like the alliteration there, but it just sounds really sarcastic for some reason. Obliterate monotony. A few months ago, my mother said how sometimes her life was monotonous. I told her, why don't you play games on the Nintendo Entertainment System? This is like how normal human beings talk, by the way. Why don't you play games on the Nintendo Entertainment System, Mother? She said, what difference would it make? The next day she tried, and ever since she's been beaming aliens, turtle bopping, punching wrestlers, knocking out boxers, designing courses, tracks, racing cars, saving royal maidens, defeating monsters, etc. Thank you. Our pleasure, Edward. NES Achievers, high scores that we don't give a shit about. Super Mario Bros. Look at all these 9,999,950. That must just be a maxed score value there. Every time we go to one of these, I gotta look for the great state of Wisconsin. Scotty. We're not good at games, I guess. Nobody's got a high score. Oh yeah, here's the little guide for capturing your high scores. Turn out the lights, place the camera on something steady. Make sure you don't use your flash. Adjust the height. The camera should be about a yard from the TV. That's how you take a photo of your CRT right there. Video Spotlight, Power Players. Oh, they do this segment every month, huh? Or every issue. These are bi-monthly. These are just people lying about being good at games. There was someone who said, like, I beat Mario Bros in like 2 minutes. And it's like, we looked up the world record and it was like longer than what this kid claimed he beat Mario Bros in. I think I am a power player. Before I play my first game of a cartridge, I first read the instruction book and study it for a few minutes. Then, before playing any game, I stretch out my fingers for 5 minutes. Next, I watch the example if the game has one. At last, I start playing my game. I hope this segment gets fucking cut pretty early on. Because these, I have no fucking interest in reading any of this. At the risk of sounding like a show-off, I would say that I am a power player. So some of these were like kind of wholesome when people were like, oh yeah, like we have a Nintendo club at school and like I think Jason is really good at games. And then they talk about their friend. Like there's a little bit of wholesomeness there. But literally every one of these is, I think I'm a power player. My name is Donna Saxton and I'd be kind of considered a power player. Okay, so here's one talking about like a friend. Richard U. Radical Richard. But most of these are just like, my brother and I are the best at any sports game. Like, shut up. I don't care. Pete the Natural. Good old Pete Bryn. From Windsor, Connecticut. Dude, 17. To date this magazine, if Pete Bryn is 17 at the time of this magazine, he's 51 today. It's interesting because I bet, you know, Pete's probably kicking around. I don't know if he still plays games or anything, but like, I bet you he's like, yeah, I got my thing in Nintendo Power and it was cool. He probably doubts that anyone is reading this in 2022, reading about Pete Bryn, but I'm sure it would warm his heart to know that we looked at his segment. His favorite game is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Man of Culture. Outstanding accomplishment. I beat Mike Tyson in just 4 hours of gameplay. Holy fucking shit. Mike Tyson's hard. I will not discredit that. Pure determination combined with know-how. Oh shit. Since I'm also a great computer programmer. Huh. He knows how to find strategies. Watch Pete Bryn be like a super famous, like, founded some tech company. That would be hilarious. Future Nintendo games. Double Dragon, Zelda 2, and Ice Hockey. What a Chad. Good taste right there. Alright. This looks a lot better here. The top 30 last time was a total fucking joke. But we got Zelda. Good stuff. Punch-Out. Metroid. Mario Bros. Kid Icarus. Double Dragon. Ice Hockey. Yeah, these are all like great choices. There was something like Rambo or some shit at like level at like rank 3 last time. It was bad. Again, Mega Man is at 14. Like, was Mega Man out for too long at this point, maybe? Castlevania, Contra. Oh yeah, here's Rambo at 19. Rambo last issue was super high. It was like, what the fuck? Wow, Dealer's Picks actually has Kid Icarus at second there. That's impressive. Pro Pick. A sneak peek at Link and Super Mario Bros. 2 by the pros was enough to place the two near the top. Sneak peek at Link? What are you... Zelda is still on top, but Link is closing in. Oh, they're talking about Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Okay, referring to it as just Link is... I guess I get it at the time, but that's just weird. It's weird to read. So Zelda 2 isn't even out. How does this work? Top 30? How can you rank... Yeah, how can you rank Zelda 2? This game's not out yet. Favorite game. Yeah. This game doesn't exist yet. I mean, I get that the pro picks, presumably these are people at the company or something. People that would maybe have access to playing this before it came out. They could rank it to some extent, but it's just weird being like, hey guys, vote for a game that you can't play. All right, let's see what we got next. Oh god. Track and Field 2, Blaster Master. So we are getting more Blaster Master coverage. Not very excited for the next issue. We don't have like a huge headliner, it looks like. I mean, we had Mario 2, we had Castlevania 2, and now they're going to be like, oh yeah, issue 3 is Track and Field 2. Not interested. Let's see what Howard Phillips has to say. We've learned a lot about magazine publishing business while making the first 2 issues of Nintendo Power. It can be a lot of hard work, but it's also a lot of fun. We had to chase down pro football players en route to training camp, track down a package with photos of the Lamborghini. Hopefully they would arrive from England in time. We spent a week in 110-degree weather in a very small town in the middle of California for a printing press check, and then had the satisfaction of carrying the first finished copies back to Nintendo. I mean, that was probably a legendary moment, quite honestly. Getting that first issue. Man, imagine holding like a Nintendo Power issue 1, like crisp right off the press. That's nice. Probably a good feeling. We all celebrated with a Pacific Northwest salmon barbecue. We got into some scraps over whether or not the game tips were all presented correctly. We think they are now. As well as over who was going to pay the $200 taxi cab fare on one of our trips. Ouch, I lost. One night we stayed up until 4 a.m. working on Pack Watch copy. Next morning though, took a much needed break and went to Disneyland. Damn dude, this sounds like a fucking banger of a job. I mean, obviously it's still a lot of hard work, but man, the passion, it just bleeds from the pages. You can really feel it. It can get a little hectic, racking up hundreds of thousands of miles traveling around the world trying to put together a world-class magazine. It's all worthwhile when we see the results and hear from the hundreds of thousands of NES fans like you who believe in the power of Nintendo Power. See you in November. That is fucking awesome. You can really tell that they love the craft. Send a friend to score-raising deep space with Nintendo Power and get a free power pin. There's the back. Power tools. Thank you so much. Retromags.com. We'll end here on the cover. Once again, absolutely legendary cover. Skull in the corner. Severed head in the hand. It's good stuff, man.